Hi friends, I am Shravana and welcome back to my channel Sparkling Future. Today we will see the stages in Spark UI for any sample Spark job. Before starting with today's topic, I request all of you to subscribe to my channel and also please like, share, comment and hit the bell icon for the latest video notifications. Thank you. Let's take this example. So this sample code which has both uh, wide and narrow transformations. So here I am reading a data frame and a second data frame, and in the data frame 3 I'm performing union between df1 and df2, and then performing some filter, then select, then group by, then count and then show. This final one, right? Actually this is just to show you how the stages will be created when we have chain operations. And when we run this code in the cluster, usually when there is an action, it will create a job. And when you open the Spark UI for any Spark job, I mean the job here means internal to the Spark job. I mean, let's say you have a application. Inside the application, you will have multiple jobs when you open the DAG, right? So that one I am talking about. So for each action, one Spark job will be created. So let's see this example. The same code that I just showed you in the PPT, I have copy pasted here. Same union by, filter, select and group by and count operations are there, right? Okay. When I run this code, two Spark jobs are created here. That is because here we have the read. Okay. I mean create data frame command is there, right? So because of that, here there is one job is created until this one. Okay. I'll explain you by opening these Spark jobs, and the second one is the from here it will create a second job, because here we have the count, and why it has separated here means it is a Y transformation. Okay. So now let's go to the first Spark job, which is for reading the two data frames and performing the union, filter and all that. If you see here I have used parallelize, so it has taken that this left side is for df1, right side is for df2, and scan means reading the file, and here it is performing the data frame creation operation. So this is where the first data frame is created, this is where the second data frame is created, and now here it is performing the union also. It is a narrow transformation which does not require a shuffle. Y transformation means it requires a shuffle, and after that it is performing the filter, and the output of this whole operation is returned to the exchange buffer. I'll explain you why. And in the second job, if I just open it, you can see this entire first thing is created under stage 1, and the second thing is created as stage 3. I have multiple things in the same Databricks notebook. Because of that, it has given this 36, 37. You will not have that kind of count. Okay. 1 second, I'll just reopen. I clicked it. Okay. So until we have all the narrow transformations will be performed under the same stage, and when we have a Y transformation, something like group by key or any of the group by key operations, join, co-group, these kind of shuffle operations which is called as Y transformation, the new stage will be created, and the stage 1 result will be returned to the exchange buffer, and from here it will be sent to the next stage as input. The output of this stage will be the input to the second stage. using this buffer. This is called as exchange buffer. Here we will have write exchange buffer, and when you send internally it will have the read exchange buffer. From there it will read the data and it will process further. And what is the skipped here means, usually when you have multiple stages, right? Before sending the data to the next stage, it will cache, which means usually skipped means no need to re-evaluate it, which means it's already cached. Here we are caching to the right buffer. So the same buffered data will be sent to the next stage as input. Okay, that is what is the meaning of skipped. So when a job is submitted, first driver will analyze the code and create the logical plan for each Spark job. Here the logical plan means here whatever we have, right? Create data frame, and we are calling this 2df function, then performing the union, filter, select, group by, count, show, all these things. It will with all these operations, like the driver will say in the code what all the operations we have to perform. It will list down that as a logical plan. And once it divides the jobs based on the actions triggered, because just now we see that 2 Spark jobs are created for this code, which means the first for this one until here, first one is created and the second one is created for this wide transformation. Starting from there, the second job has been created. Then the driver will break the logical plan into stages, that we have seen, right? So here we have seen in the second one we have seen the 2 stages. That is because it's the continuation of this one, right? So that's why the Spark jobs, the job has combined into the stages here, in the sense in the second job. The previous stage also has been considered because it contains the part of the first job data in the second job. So for each job, driver see the logical plan and breaks the job into stages based on the wide transformations. Okay. If no wide transformation, then the entire job will run in the single stage. And for each wide transformation, it will create a separate stage. So first Spark finishes the first stage and then the data will be returned to the exchange buffer. We have just seen, right? So this is the exchange buffer. This part is called the exchange buffer. And this exchange will be taken as input to the second stage. So from here to here, how it will be passed? What is the service that performs the sending the data from stage to stage is called as shuffle sort. Shuffle sort is the function which will take the parameters as write exchange and read exchange, and it will send the data between stage to next stage, previous stage to next stage, shuffle sort. So if more partitions are there, for example here we could see only a single what to say here, right? I mean here we have the 2 flows, but here we see only single flow. That is because we have only one partition here. And let's say you have given the partitions as, let's say, 2 partitions. You are doing some partition here using the repartition function. Then what will happen is, in the stage wherever you are after the repartition has been done, what all transformations that you are applying will be copied as 2 flows, like first flow, second flow. That will be considered as a task, different task, task 1, task 2. That kind of divided, it will be divided into multiple tasks and will be divided as per the number of partitions configured in the code. And these tasks will run parallelly in their respective partitions. So first driver starts a logical plan and then convert it into a runtime. This is called as runtime execution plan, which means that logical plan will only have what all operations to be done by the each job, but the runtime execution plan will have partition wise tasks. Like let's say if you have 3 partition, the same set of steps will be copied to the 3 partitions under each, and stages will be divided. See, for each job stages will be divided, then for under the each stage what are the partitions and inside the tasks for each partition, and this partition wide task will be performed parallelly. Okay, so just to summarize, right, Spark create one job for each action, and job will be divided as stages for each Y transformation, and shuffle sort is used for sending the data between stages. And here the task is the, I mean, whatever is performed here, right, the task is the smallest unit in the Spark architecture, then it's where the main computation will happen, which means that the driver, once it has the list of the plan and the tasks, then it will assign the tasks to the executor, and that's where in the executor performs the computations. And in a Spark cluster, let's say you have 4, so I mean, let me quickly draw this. Okay, so this is the driver, and let's say you have 4 or 3 cluster nodes, let's say, and for performing each job you need some, let's say 10 partitions you need. Then what it will do is, here in each worker node we will have some cores, right? You might have seen 4 CPU cores or something like that, right? So based on that it will assign the task, and 4 cores means you will have 4 slots again, 1 2 3 4. Similarly here also 4 slots, here also 4 slots, that is because we have 4 cores. So let's say for performing some task you need 10 partitions, then for how it will distribute is, let's say this is the driver. Okay, worker nodes. So if you need 10 partitions, then what it will do is, it will take 1 2, it might take this, or it might take these two also, and then it might take these two also. It's based on the it actually yarn or whatever is the cluster manager, right, that will decide which worker node. Sometimes it will just leave one node like that only, something like that. Okay, so now 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 we have 8 9 and 10. So whatever is the ticked partitions are there, ticked one is there, right, so those slots will be consumed, and driver will assign those tasks to this one. And when we say partition, so the same task whatever will be present in the stage, right, the same will be copied to all these partitions, and the same task will be performed parallelly in each of these partitions, and finally the combined result will be sent back to the driver when an action is triggered, the final action is triggered. Till then the transformations will be performed inside these worker nodes, and once the action is triggered, then the results will be sent back to the driver by all these. Okay, and then driver will sometimes collate and it will send to the end user. Okay, so this is how the task will be performed when you submit the Spark job, right? So this is what will happen, and here we have seen how all these things will happen, and we have seen what is skipped, and when the stage is, then second stage is created, that we have seen. And if you wanted to go further, you can check this pool name or description show at command. You can just go through all these things. If you have typical Spark UI, right, you open that and you can clearly understand, or you can click on these things to understand what exactly is happening in the each stage. Okay, and it will have all the details about the completed tasks, what are the tasks completed, and what shuffled RDD, because this is Y transformation, it has to call the shuffle row RDD, and this map partitions RDD because of the count operation that we have given. So you can understand all these things in the Spark UI You can go through all these things. Okay, see this storage executors. So it has taken one executor, that is because it's my local machine. And here usually it will have the, if I am running in Spark, what to say, if whatever sprint commands or logger commands that I am giving in the Spark job, right? So that will be seen in the stdio and std output, std out here for each executor. So this is where we can check the command. And in the in this DAG, right, actually, so when we see the DAG, we will understand which stage is taking the lot of time. Here it will give the duration also for each task that is being performed. So what we can see is, based on the stages, we will see which task is taking more time. Then we can do some optimization on particular task. So we let's say we have 1,000 lines of code, but we can pinpoint where exactly more shuffle is happening and more time taking process is happening. Based on that, we can pick that code up and we can perform the optimization. Okay, this is about understanding the Spark UI, friends. Hope this is useful to you. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting learnings. Thank you.